Good afternoon. Today I'm here to talk to you about something no one wants to hear about. Actually, no one even wants to think about something horrendous as child sexual abuse. But in one way or another, whether we have children or not, it affects all of us. As local TV newsman Randy Moore recently reported, the statistic is chilling. Every fourth girl will be sexually molested by her 18th birthday, and it's not much better for boys. It's 1 in 6. According to the website of the National Child Sexual Abuse Prevention Organization, Darkness to Light, only 1 out of 10 incidents are usually reported. Thank God there is now something we adults can do to protect all the children we come in contact with. Evansville's Lampion Center, the acknowledged #1 trauma therapy center in this area, is coordinating efforts to prevent this tragedy. Using a program called Stewards of Children, developed by Darkness to Light, they're working with similar groups in Indianapolis to take this project statewide. Its mission is to diminish the incidence and impact of child sexual abuse by educating adults about the steps they can take to protect, prevent, recognize, and react responsibly to the reality of child sexual abuse. Vicki Nelson, Lampion Center facilitator for Stewards of Children, adds, a child's safety is all adults' job, not just parents. Every time you read in the paper that a child has been sexually abused and think, that's really sad, but it doesn't really affect me, realize at Evansville's Lampion Center alone, there are currently 50 children under the age of 13 being treated for sexual abuse. A quarter of these are under the age of 3. If they're not treated for this abuse at an early age, they grow up to be the walking wounded among us. These walking wounded not only have serious lifelong psychological problems and sometimes drug and alcohol problems, they also often become child sexual abusers themselves. According to Lampion Center's director, Linda Ross, fear often prevents children from telling, and denial often keeps adults from taking action. Unfortunately, people think that children grow up and forget this, but even as infants, it's been proven if they've been molested as an infant, it permeates every avenue of their life. One reason this terrible crime against children happens so frequently is that the abuser is usually not the scary stranger, but someone the child knows, respects, and maybe even loves. They are the authority figures, the teachers, the coaches, the clergy. Children have been taught to obey. Or they are family friends or even family members, abusing the child's love and trust as well as their bodies. I'm a rare example of a child who was approached by a stranger. At age 8, walking the 1 block home from a friend's house, a car pulled up alongside me with a scruffy-looking man inside. He offered me a new Barbie doll if I would get in his car and show him the location of Robert's Stadium, again, only 1 block away. Luckily, my mother had taught her children well to never speak to or go with a stranger. As he opened his door and started reaching for me, I screamed bloody murder and ran across the street to my home. My mother called the police, and my description of this man in his car helped lead them to Emmett Hashfield. While I have long known Hashfield kidnapped, raped, and killed 11-year-old Boonville resident Avril Terry a few days after failing to lure me into his car, the Great Pictorial History of World Crime by J. Robert Nash recently filled me in on the gruesome details. On August 16, 1960, Hashfield, a recently paroled sex offender, managed to pick up Avril at Boonville Town Square, where she had been shopping for her sister's birthday present. After being interrogated by the police, who informed him they had someone who could identify him as the man who earlier in the week tried to abduct an Evansville child, Hashfield confessed he had driven Avril to his shack, where he tied her up, raped, stabbed, disemboweled, dissected, and decapitated her before eating parts of her remains and storing the rest of her along the banks of the Ohio River. After all almost 50 years of trying to forget this nightmare, tapping into my memory banks to write this speech has been grueling. Like it was yesterday. I can still see his stubbly beard, smell his body odor, and feel the fear rising in my throat as Hatfield tried to grab me. Close to a half a century has obviously not completely healed me of the horror of knowing I barely escaped hell, and another innocent little girl suffered unimaginably and died at the hands of a monster. I will travel terror the rest of my life. The Lansing Center is offering a 3-hour Stewards of Children training class to any group who would like to learn how they can protect our most precious and vulnerable kids. The only thing you have to lose is the cost of a $15 workbook. Such a small price to pay for the knowledge that you can prevent a child from suffering at the hands of a monster they may or they may not know. Please don't let there be another Apple Terry story. Please call the Lansing Center today at 471-1776.